Hey guys, what is up? It's Amber, aka the Gamer Girl, and we're back for another League of Legends quick start guide, I want to call it. Today we're going to go over runes, masteries, spells, and maybe item sets if I can get that far. We're going to start with the runes. And now, I only have one page of runes and one page of masteries. And like I said in the last video, I am now just getting back into this. So what the runes and the masteries do, um, the runes, every champion has base stats, like base damage, base health, base everything. And what the runes do is they add to that. Like, this is my attack damage runes, which right now is the only page of runes I'm running. I need to get some ability power runes and stuff like that going, but that won't be happening for a while. But what this does is this runs and adds your stats to this, like cooldown, percentage. It increases the cooldown, increases your critical chance, increases your physical damage, crit damage, health, and armor with my current set of runes. Now you'll notice these are empty slots here, 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 and there's another empty slot here for my Quint. Um, as I level, you open this. So the next thing that will open once I hit level 23 is a glyph. Do I have any? I have plenty of them. So when one of these opens, I will probably insert this health one over here and like lesser glyph of health. I think this one's a lesser glyph too. Each there's tier 1 glyphs, tier 2 glyphs, and tier 3 glyphs. There's also tier 1 seals and marks, tier 2 seals and marks, and there's also tier 1 and 2 and 3 quints. So like right now I'm running a lot of, I think, tier 2. I have a tier 3 mark. I need to go through and get some tier 3 marks and maybe recycle some of the older stuff to get this finalized. Okay, but pretty much what this does is this adds to your um, base stats for your champions. Masteries, and by the time this is done, this is my attack damage masteries. By the time this is done, this will be 21, 9, and 0. Um, I'll need to add some more mastery pages for my ability and my utility masteries, but what this does is this kind of adds even more to your champion. So, like, basic, like this one right here, Butcher. Basic attacks and single target spells deal an additional 2 damage to minions and monsters. This does not trigger off of area effect damage or damage over time effects. So basically, this means your basic attacks, and if you were like to single out another champion, this will, not a champion, but if you were in the jungle and you got caught by a monster in the jungle, this would help ease that burden just a little bit. Um, Defense, this helps. Maximum health, this adds to your health a lot. Reducing incoming damage from champions and plus 2 health per 5 seconds. This, I really like just the defense on this because this aids in some of my attack champions that I play. Let's see here. We are going quick, so we may be able to get to this. Now we can go to spells. In the last episode, I was talking about Soraka, my main champion, and I was talking that I run this on her, which is heal. It restores 90 to 345 health depending on your champion level and grants 30% movement speed for a second to you and a target allied champion. This healing is halved for units recently affected by summoner heal. So if someone got healed and then you healed that same person, it would get halved. Usually on Soraka, I either run Flash Heal or I run Clarity Heal. And usually if the person I'm playing next to is completely mana hungry, I'll run Clarity because it restores 40% of your champion's maximum mana and also restores allies for 40% of their maximum mana. So if I'm running, we'll just take the Soraka Ashe combo that I explained in the last episode. Considering Ashe is mana hungry, a mana hungry champion, I run Heal Clarity. For all other champions that I either have not played next to or I know personally is not thirsty for mana, I will run Flash. And Flash is very good to get away from assassin type champions like Zed. Flash is very good to get out of a few of his moves. Most people run Flash and Ignite. Ignites target enemy champion, dealing 70 to 410 true damage, depending on the champion level, over 5 seconds, granting you vision of the target, and reducing healing effects on them for the duration. I see a lot of that lately. I've been seeing a lot of Ghost and a lot of Cleanse. Um, I don't see this run, Smite run. I don't see on a lot of support type champions. The Smite is usually run for junglers. Teleport is usually run for top lane people. Uh, Garrison and Clairvoyance. I don't see either one of these run at all. I don't know, honestly, my personal opinion. I don't know why they're in the game. If nobody runs them, I don't know why they're still in the game. Exhaust has recently gained popularity with several pro teams, and I mean teams in general. Um, Barrier and Revive. I haven't seen Revive run too much, and I have seen Barrier on a couple of teams, but all of the spells are based on what you feel comfortable with. Like, I feel comfortable running heal all the time, and I usually run flash heal in Aram games and Dominion games mainly. In classic games, it depends, like, if there's a mana hungry champion next to me as the support, um, and what the overall team comp is. Now we'll go to item sets, and I think this will help explain some of the items because there are many to choose from. We shall search, and the one I was explaining in the last one was the Trinity Force. And as you see, there are multiple levels to get to the Trinity Force. These are basic items, and I usually start if I'm building a Trinity Force on an Alistair. We'll go with my Alistair game that I was playing. If I'm building Trinity Force on an Alistair and I have a chance to buy this, which is the Sheen, it gives me 200 mana and 25 ability power. If I've got the chance to buy that first, I will buy that first because this is one off of the second level. And if you it's a lot of money to put into it. And you have to, the term is called snowballing. It is constantly getting kills, constantly getting fed up, constantly increasing your gold. Because the quicker you increase your gold, the faster you can buy something like this. Because this is a very expensive item to buy. I mean, it's almost 4,000 gold. This and this and this alone, well, this and this alone is 2,300 gold. And then you add the phage to it, it's the exact cost of this. But if you're constantly buying all of these smaller items first and you don't snowball and you don't get more kills, then it's going to take 10 to 12 minutes on average to buy this. From the games that I have played, it's 10 to 12 minutes on average. If I don't snowball the champion, let me be clear on that. If I do not snowball, like if I did not snowball Alistair and get 7 kills in the first 5 minutes of the game, I would not have had this and this. Therefore, the rest of this was easy to build, and I had this in 8 minutes. And usually, if you can get a Trinity Force on a champion in under 10 minutes, their power will spike. And that is just with champions I have played that require Trinity Force. Not every champion is the same. Let me be clear with that. Not every champion is the same. Every champion is different. Soraka does not have Trinity Force. Alistair does. It depends on the champion. Like with Soraka, and I can. She usually takes this Athenes and Holy Grail. And usually the first thing you can buy is this the Chalice of Harmony right off the bat. And with an ability power champion. Okay, I am now going to explain the difference between attack damage and ability power in the items. When you buy the chalice right out, you get magic resistance and you gain 7 mana plus 7 mana regen per 5 seconds. And then there's a passive on this which is called Mana Font. It increases the mana regen by 1% per 1% of missing mana. Okay. To explain that to you, it's very this is for and Soraka loves this because Soraka is very mana hungry. The thing is, I cannot use Soraka's E on herself. I have to use that on somebody else. So she requires something like a Chalice right away. And if you do not buy Chalice right away, you are in for trouble. Because I have played many a Soraka games where I did not have this right away. And I was pretty much left hung out to dry. And usually this is what comes next, which is, well, it starts here and then it builds up into this. And these two, the second level here, is pretty easy to complete if you cannot die. The whole concept of the game is not to die and to increase your champion's power exponentially. And like with Soraka, this will give me 60 ability power, 25 magic resistance, 20% cooldown reduction, which is very, very good for my wish. Because Soraka, and I don't know what it is and why I still main her after this, but Soraka has very long cooldown periods on her abilities. So to have this first means all of her cooldowns get cut by 20%. And it gives me plus 10 mana regen per 5 seconds, which I particularly like because all of Soraka's abilities are very mana dependent. Very high mana cost, very mana dependent. So I'll usually start with a couple of mana potions and a couple of health potions just to make sure I can sustain and stay in lane for a long period of time so I can get the gold, which this is 2600 gold, so I can get the gold to get my items very quickly. I usually have this completed about 8 to 10 minutes in. And then I can build into other things. Another thing is let's see. We're going to go here. We're going to delete this. I need to say this now. With supports, they are very heavily dependent on vision. A lot of classic games depends on vision. And with vision comes wards. So let us explain wards. This is the warding totem trinket, and this is usually what 90 to 95% of people start with is this trinket. It's free to buy, so you can buy it and buy several other items. Usually I will buy this, and I will buy a couple of these health potions, a couple of these mana potions, and one of these if I possibly can. Now the difference between this and this is one, you can carry more stealth wards, green. Well, we'll go by what they're called professionally and what most people call them anyway. You can carry 3 green wards and you can at a time, and you can only carry 2 pink wards at a time. Um, these stay up longer than these. These stay up for 3 minutes. Pink wards stay up until they are killed. Um, the other thing, let's go. Okay, the other thing is Farsight Orb. I must, I must not have seen that. Sightstones. I usually get this one first if I can get the second one before 15, the ruby one before 15 minutes. I usually do. And the reason why is because with the regular Sightstone, it holds 4 wards at a time, 4 charges as they call it, but it's usually just charges as wards. It holds 4 wards at a time, um, and they're green wards, hence stealth wards. Um, it consumes a charge to place a stealth ward that reveals the surrounding area for 3 minutes. What the Ruby Sightstone does is it gives you 5 chances. It gives you 5 stealth wards, where the regular Sightstone gives you 4. I like having the Ruby Sightstone on a support, and I usually try to buy that and my boots as early as possible because the name of the game is vision. If you do not have vision, you 9 times out of 10 don't win the game. So, let's talk. I'm not going to get into all of this because there are a lot of items that build into a lot of things. And each game mode, which we will go into next video, is different, so the builds are going to be different. And I'll show you that in each mode. Let's see. But what I want is boots. Now, I can explain boots many different ways, but here's how I'm going to explain it as a support player. There is, and I'll show this to you in a game as well, there is a recommended build and there is your build. The recommended build is what League of Legends recommends you to build at this time for this champion in this mode of the game. Usually you'll start with this right away, which is your Boots of Speed. It grants you 25 movement speed. Take it. And I usually, if I know that my team composition is very attack damage heavy and can get in the front line and I can stand back and either heal them, or if I'm playing an attack damage carry, if I can stand in the back line and help them, then I'm going to buy whatever the recommended build is. If I'm in a classic game and I know I'm playing support and I know that my role is support, then supports usually buy this. Boots of Mobility. I played this on Alistair, and it's back in my last episode when I showed you guys the match history. I played this with Alistair, and it was very, very handy. Very, very good. And usually on classic mode, I don't buy Boots of Mobility, but I'm still getting used to the game. So now that I've watched enough pro play and I have played enough games, I know not to buy one of these at all. I know to just go ahead and buy Boots of Mobility. If I'm playing someone like Alistair and he needs to be full tank build into the front lines, hard to kill type, I will buy this because it gives you armor. And it also blocks 10% of damage from basic attacks and grants movement speed. But instead of 25 movement speed, it grants 45 movement speed. Excuse me. Merc treads, Mercury treads, we call them Merc treads in the game. Merc treads and Sorcerer shoes or Sorc shoes. Merc treads are for magic resistance, and Sorc shoes are for magic penetration. I will, if I'm playing support, I'll buy boots and mobility. If I'm playing Soraka a mage, I'll buy sword shoes. Um, it depends on how I'm playing her. Berserker's Greaves or Zerk Greaves gives you attack speed. Most attack damage carries play this. Ionian Boots of Lucidity. If I am in desperate need of cooldown reduction and I cannot get that Athene's and Holy Grail after 10 minutes, I will usually buy these for the cooldown reduction because this gives you 15% cooldown reduction. If I cannot get that Athene's, and I stress this enough, if you cannot get a key component to your build after 10 minutes, you need to settle on a set of boots. Because boots will be the starter to whatever it is you need for your uh, champion. Like, I know Soraka needs cooldown reduction and ability power because she's a healer. And the faster you can heal your allies, the better off your game will be. So I know that if I cannot get that Athene's Unholy Grail, I go for these right away. Boots of Swiftness is movement speed. I don't see a lot of people buying this usually. It's usually one of these down here or the Moby boots. It, it all depends on the champion. It depends on your play style. League of Legends is 5 complete and total strangers gathering together and saying, "Let's play a game." And I know you can't tell because of how I'm talking, um, but my hands are in the air. I am flailing. I've got this cheeky grin on my face. I mean, I'm very excited to be a part of the League of Legends community. I am very excited to play this game and learn. I love learning. So this game is all about learning. Okay, and with that being said, it's the end of the episode. Woohoo! So in the next episode, we will be covering this. We will be covering the game modes. So, with that being said, I hope you are enjoying the series and my little quick start guides before actually getting into the game. I hope you all are learning something. Like I said, if you're confused by something, please leave a comment and I will do my best to give you links, give you tips, give you whatever I know. And I know if I can't find it, someone that I know probably will. So we'll all be a community together with this game. This is Amber. Have fun, rock on, peace out, and I will see you back here for the third part to my League of Legends Quick Start Guide. Until then, bye guys!